And what is up? I am going to watch a video for you right now and hopefully like it. I am a fan of Naruto. I'm just going to say that right off the get-go. I do love Naruto. Believe it. Believe it, I love Naruto. Alright, and spoiler, I did read the description, but that would have been my guess before as I was going to get my caffeinated beverage, my friend. I was like, I bet you it's a Believe It, like, montage of some sort. I'm looking forward to it. My first critique right off the bat when I see the beginning is camera quality looks a little low. Looks a little pixelated. That's just my thoughts, though, my opinion on it. Camera quality isn't everything. Sometimes the content is worth the lower quality, and that's why we go back and we watch some really old videos. Like The Room. That's not a good video. It's a horrible video. But yeah, so let's go. Let's jump into this video, and let's see my reaction. Just in case, spit take.
Boy, you got a moment? I don't know, Holden. I'm a little busy.
I got a moment thing, and I'm just gonna comment a little low on the audio. Boost that gain, boy, or maybe I don't know if you could boost the gain in post or while recording it, but would have been good. I don't know if this was just a skit you guys decided, but actually I think that's what you said in your description. So I don't think this was ad-lib. This was planned to some extent. Anyways, I'm going to continue.
Alrighty. I got me something special. All of Naruto. It will only cost $79.84. Holden.
Oh, like you had to think. Only $79.84.
You know how I feel.
Now, if you want me to critique, camera quality, of course. At least you're using proper leading room. You're using leading room properly. You're facing this direction, and the shot is framed nicely. However, your face is underexposed. Very dark here.
About anime. Come on, Garrett.
Distracting. The reflection is distracting.
Naruto's different. Don't be a pansy. Okay, fine. We'll watch it. Great.
Now, here's one thing that I will suggest for the future. I'm just going to go back to this clip. You don't have to always cut on the other person talking. Like, you could have had him say okay, shown his reaction, and then cut to him going fine. And then see the other person's reaction. You know what I mean when I say that? So, okay! And then, so we're looking at this guy here, and you hear okay! And then we go to fine. And we see the other guy's reaction.
Don't be a pansy. Okay, fine. We'll watch it. Great. You won't regret this. You better get your chakra ready for this one. It's gonna be a doozy.
I will get my chakra.
Believe it.
I have an issue with the font.
Believe it.
I'm a big fan of all caps for the most part. Font choice is decent. I think it would have looked nicer in all caps. So who knows? Maybe it wouldn't have. Actually, now that I think about it, it's not that bad. It is not that bad. Are your ears bleeding? Is that what it is? Because, like, I guess your ears and eyes are bleeding? Okay, yeah, I get it. I get the joke.
It's pretty great, right?
I get the joke. I get the reference. Potential. There is potential. I mean, you really seem like you have an interest in it, and I would encourage that you look into a little more into stylistic video editing. Pay close attention to movies. They don't always cut on when one person says one thing, they don't always necessarily cut to as soon as they're finished talking and the next person starts talking. You see a bunch of different angles, and it's hard. I'm pretty sure that when you guys are doing this, the other person was holding the camera, which I understand, so you can't get that over-the-shoulder shot, but you can get the reaction shot and then cut to the person talking. So the person, like, you hear the reaction, you see the person reacting to the reaction, and then you cut back to the rest of the reaction. So you get both sides of the story, and I find that's a little bit more interesting than just... And I find the editing just becomes predictable at that point. If you really want to improve video, really think about the location at where you want to shoot. Possibly clean up a little more. I mean, I'm not trying to offend you in any way in saying that your room is dirty, but it's distracting for the clip. There's a lot going on. And maybe it does fit, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I couldn't really make out what was going on. I don't know what was happening behind you, like the stuff that you had. I think it was posters. I didn't really get what those were. I couldn't see it, so like I said, just distracting. It was like information overload type thing. I can't think of any examples of where, like, I don't know. You just want interesting backgrounds is all I'm trying to say. This, not a good example of an interesting background, but this is not a video meant for mass production. This is just my review for your personal use. But yeah, if you want to look into audio, I would suggest looking into audio, possibly getting a better microphone. It sounds like you were just using the camera mic, because at one point when you were shooting him at the door, his voice was really low. You can boost that in post, but you are going to get a little bit more of an airy sound. That's just how it happens, because you're boosting everything in post. That's why you want to boost as much of it in on the mic as possible. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Lighting, very useful as well. If you want to look up some lighting tutorial videos, 3-point lighting, used mostly in interviews, but I mean, there are situations where I've used 3-point lighting. I've had a 6-point lighting setup for a show I did while I was in college for our live stream show, and that was an interesting. I used a soft box. I had a softbox, and I think I just had 6 or softbox and 5 lights. I forget what kind of lights they are, but I had some that were just used to light the background, and I had colored gels on them to produce a red glow coming off of them. They had barn doors so you had more control over where the light was. I mean, I think one of the kits alone probably cost around $400, and they were old kits. So if you were to buy like a new kit today, it'd probably be close to $1,000. The kits that we had in college, you can get cheap kits as well. I mean, this is just me throwing out stuff. If it's something you're interested in doing and want to do it to a higher quality, definitely look into that stuff. I would suggest applying to college for broadcasting. I went to college for broadcasting, and I loved it. Long hours. There was an example when I went to college. I was in our editing suites for 40 hours straight working on final projects. That might have just been an isolated incident with my college, but yeah, I started off just doing stuff like that on YouTube, and then I decided, hey, I really like this, and I don't know what I want to do with my life, so I'm going to go to school for broadcasting. Then I was working for the government for a bit, doing broadcasting the Senate, and I stopped that to pursue another career path instead. But yeah, so hopefully this video was helpful, and hopefully you can use it to your advantage. I am going to leave it at that. It was a short video. I did like it, and I knew you guys are going to make fun of him, believe it, because he does use it a lot, and it is funny. I actually have never heard the English version of Naruto. I've been watching it in Japanese dubbed. Dragon Ball Z, I think, is the only anime. Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon were the only animes that I ever watched as a kid, and I only ever watched them in English. Then I stopped watching animes, and then I had friends like, you gotta watch animes, and show me a few of them, and I haven't been able to watch any animes in English since then. I still, to this day, have to watch Dragon Ball Z in English, just because it seems weird to me. But yeah, okay, I'm definitely ending the video now in the review, but yeah, I really liked the joke. It was good, and it had potential. Like I said, it's mostly technical stuff that you guys need to work on, and I'm going to click stop local recording before I continue rambling on for hours.